What's up, YouTube? It's Wes here. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm already rocking my Memorial Day shirt as we go into the weekend. I'm really excited about a 3-day. I hope you guys are as well. Wanted to cover some news around Luna. We've seen some of the voting go through. I'm going to talk about exactly what I think is going to happen and what you need to do about it, because there's a lot of hype going on right now. We've got to unpack that and talk about the mechanics that's happening under the hood, and it's not good. So we're going to cover it. Also, I'm going to close out for the weekend on just some thoughts around this bear market where there's some silver lining. Don't go anywhere. We're going to cover all that and a whole bunch more coming right up. What's up, YouTube friends? I hope you guys are doing awesome. Wes Spencer here. We're going to jump into the Luna news, and while we do, would you hit like, hit subscribe? The YouTubers say to smash it, so I don't know, whatever. Go ahead and smash it for me. I'm getting so absolutely close to 100K subscribers. Going to have a Silver Creator Award on the wall if you do your part. So I'd love for you to do that, and I can't tell you how much that would mean for me. It's like literally the only thing I ever ask from you, so I'd love for you to do that as we go through this journey. Now, the Luna news is all around. We know that the community voted. This came in 9 days ago as it was submitted, and it ended just a couple days ago. I don't think it was a surprise for any of us. So this is the proposal that you're looking at right here, 1623, this idea of creating a brand new Terra chain. It's not attached to the algorithmic stablecoin whatsoever. It's a brand new thing. And so you can see here the votes are 65% yes, 21% roughly that said, I don't care, 0.33 that said no, although that no doesn't mean anything. And so the true no's are 13%. By the way, that's kind of a staggering number of no votes. You don't typically see DAOs when it's like a contentious vote. You don't typically see, like in other projects, you don't see like a 13% no. Usually it's a very small minority. So that's pretty interesting. And I think you can also even see through like some silver linings here. And some of this, if you look down here and look at some of the validators and how they voted, especially the no with vetoes, you can find some interesting comments around some of these folks on why they voted no with veto. And I want to cover that. But first, I want to cover this. What the heck is this whole vote all about? The vote is this. Well, we know Terra completely fell apart. It lost its peg, therefore Luna is absolutely worthless. A coin that was worth 40 billion and the actual individual price itself was mooning higher and higher and higher, all the way up to like getting close to $100, all completely fell apart overnight. We know this. If you haven't watched my videos on Luna so far on how it collapsed and why it died, go watch it. Also, I just did a video last week that I called Luna is Dead, All Hail the New Luna, which, by the way, I saw a CNN article today, literally copy that. So I don't know, I guess they're watching this channel, whatever. And I thought this was pretty interesting because we knew that this was going to happen. There's no way that all these invested holders of Luna were just going to let their investment erode. And I get it, right? Like, I totally understand if you're holding 20,000, 50,000. I have one friend that was holding 100,000 in Luna. When it all nosedives like that, I understand that you want to recoup some of that. That is a natural thing. But what we're going to see happen is not going to be the reality of what's promised. I hate to tell you it. So let's just jump into what is going to happen, and then I'm going to tell you some thoughts around all of this. So this right here is this came out today from Terra, and they're talking about what's going to happen. So you see tweet 1, yesterday we said Terra 2.0 is coming, tomorrow it arrives. So it's literally tomorrow, Saturday, right? That's when it's going to come out. Everyone's been working on it, blah, blah, blah. And then as we go down here, I'm going to talk about a couple things here. So everyone's been working hard on it. We don't care. Ahead of the Genesis, some important things to know. TFL, that's like the company itself. That's who they are. They're talking about what's going to happen with how it's going to get airdropped to people that were holding the funds before and after the attack. And by the way, let me say something about this. I can't stand how everyone has just adopted this term attack. It wasn't attacked, like not in the sense of like what an attack usually means. Usually the definition of attack is like one party aggressively attacking another for their own benefit, like a network hack, like all of the hacks I've covered on this channel, like the Axie Infinity hack, what happened with Feg, so many of these projects that actually get hacked by a bad guy. No bad guy attacked Terra Luna. It literally exploited some huge flaws in the logic of how this whole thing works. And we've covered this. I'm not going to cover it more in this video, but it worked until it didn't work. And all of this stuff that Do Kwon continually brag about and making fun of other projects, you talk about a guy that ate his own karma lunch, right? Like, like literally the week before, the day before, he was even making fun of projects that fell apart, only to see his colossally fall apart, far bigger than anybody he's ever made fun of. Anyway, I say all that to say, I wish we'd quit talking about this as pre-attack and post-attack. We should just really be like pre-failure, post-failure, because it wasn't an attack, and I don't like the term. Anyway, so as we jump into this, a few more things here that they talked about. Everything's going to go up online to the new Terra. Terra Classic goes away. Well, it really just becomes Terra Classic, which remains worthless and literally without value. But everything else that you've been using, like Terra Station, the Observer, all that stuff gets moved to the new version. And so you see many of the dApps you know and love from Terra Classic have committed to migrating to Terra, and why wouldn't they, right? Like, I don't fault them for that. They've got too much vested interest to go to another project. So I totally understand that desire. They talk about the exchanges that are sticking with them and so on and so forth. So this is all going to happen. Then here's information on the airdrop. I'm going to be really quick on this because you can go read this for yourself. But if you're included in the airdrop, either pre-attack or post-attack, I hate that term, it tells you how much you're going to get. There's been a lot of contention and argument around the community of this, because there, especially people saying, why should anybody get airdrop that purchased Luna after it fell apart? Like, that makes no sense. They should have no entitlement there. I happen to agree with that argument, but apparently the vote did not. So you can go and read all of this. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and check out this entire thing. It answers all the questions you need to know about what's happening. But the real question that I think is much more important than that is, should you invest? And here's my thoughts on this, and I think it's important. First of all, I don't think the crypto community is going to be ready for at least another probably 2 years for an algorithmic stablecoin. I just don't. Like, I think we're so burned on this. We were so much hype around Luna and what it could do, and a peg with Terra. And when the whole thing fell apart, colossal was its fall. Nobody has, including myself, nobody has trust in an algorithmic stablecoin, at least not at this point. We're not ready for that. Now, mark my words, I will not be surprised. I'll even say it. I'm calling it now. Within 6 months, probably before the end of the year, you're going to see some new algorithmic stablecoin come out to market that's literally like, oh, we're rising from the ashes of Terra and Luna, and we're going to do all the things they did, and you can trust us, because how could we make that mistake twice? I don't trust them. I'm not going to be there for them. I'm not going to invest in them. Many crypto investors that are out there are also saying the same thing. Why would I get into something that's totally broken? And when it comes to Terra and Luna, the new versions, even though the new Luna is not attached to the old algorithmic stablecoin any longer, it begs this question that you need to answer if you're going to invest in it, which is simply this. What's the need to get into it? Like, what's the motivator? Fall down of that entire network, I understand how someone could say, I believe in Luna because of its awesome algorithmic stablecoin. Now that we know that's failed, why would you believe in Luna? It literally has no benefit. There is no differentiator to Luna than anything else that's out there. So why would you choose it? Unless you're one of the sunk cost fallacy people that are like, I'm so involved in Luna and I have a lot of holdings I want to get back. I understand that position. But I'm just telling you, I don't think Luna is going to go anywhere. I think it's going to attract the current Luna ecosystem to a small degree, and everyone else that, like me, that got out of their holdings a long time ago are going to think, why would I get back into this? There's literally no differentiator. There's no benefit. There's nothing different about this project than a million other ones that I could go in and get into instead. And why would I go after one that's run by Terraform Labs, the company run by Do Kwon that literally destroyed the crypto market? Why would I do that? So that's where I'm at. And I think that's where a lot of the industry is at. And so I would caution you very much so to get into Terra and Luna. If you think it's right for you, I'm not your financial advisor. Do whatever the heck you want. In fact, do the opposite of what most YouTubers tell you, because that's usually the best way to go. They have no idea what they're talking about, including this guy right here. So don't listen to us for financial advice. Make your own decisions. I'm just telling you, for me, I can't see any reason to buy this. Now, if I can add some conjecture to this, how about this? Take a look at this right here. Let me go back and share my screen. There's even conjecture. I found this around doing some stumbling, and the way I found it was I went back over to Terra Station. I was digging around from some of the validators that voted no with veto, because I'm kind of like, wow, if there's a validator I respect, it's one that had a lot of voting power power and voted no with veto, like mad respect for integrity there, I think. And so I came across Stake Systems and was checking them out, and they had some retweets over to this right here. Now, I can't really authenticate this. I'm just sharing it with you because I think it's some pretty interesting conjecture. So this comes from Fat Man Terra. It's a great name, by the way. I'm sure he's a very skinny individual. Why is an anonymous address that was funded 20 million Luna by Terraform Labs' original wallet 2 years ago currently the biggest yes signaler for the latest proposal? So this came out a week ago, literally a week ago on the day, May 20th. And I think we can actually authenticate that. Because blockchains are open, I can go back and see, where did this come from? This was funded by Terraform Labs. We don't know who owns this wallet, but we know that it came from the company itself in a significant amount, and they're voting yes. That seems a little sketchy. That seems a little bit like insider baseball. So you can go down here and see a little bit more of their follow-up tweet where we see where it came from. We see that it came from TFL, and they say there's a couple of addresses from the early days that most likely belong to TFL employees. I can't confirm that. Probably neither can this Twitter account. But then they said this anonymous account controls, look at this, 5.1% of the voting power and is signaling yes for the latest proposal. TFL has stated that they don't vote. And then he says, do the employees vote? Or is this Do Kwon's account himself? Maybe TFL doesn't vote, but Stablecoin himself does. Who knows? So they're actually asking. I don't think they ever got an answer, but you can see that's pretty significant when 5.1 at this point in time, when this tweet came out a week ago, was signaling yes. That's a staggering and potentially even sketchy thing to do for sure. So you can see more for yourself. I'll put a link to this in the description so you can get over there, make your own decisions on what you think about it. But it really is rough when you have these things happen. And take a look at this. This happened also this week. A crypto influencer in South Korea actually went to Do Kwon's house to kind of talk about this. He live streamed while he went in. You should read this article. It's pretty staggering. And he ended up getting arrested over it. He actually knocked on the door. Do Kwon's wife opened up, said that he wasn't there at the time. Who knows whether that's true or not? I guess in Korea, you do that, you might get arrested. I don't know. But it's definitely pretty sad when people like this that lose a significant amount of their wealth. Like he even talked about, hey, literally fell apart. It's a huge loss for him. He went almost completely broke, or did go broke, and just went to knock on his door and ask him why he did it. Got arrested for it. That's pretty crazy. I love this tweet as well right here. This is from Shibatashi. Many of you know Shibatashi, the creator and founder of Dogecoin, someone that Elon Musk really loves for whatever reason. And they said this, I thought it was hilarious. Luna 2.0 will show the world just how truly dumb crypto gamblers are. I encourage you, don't be a crypto dumb gambler. We're going to see what's going to happen, but I'm telling you, I've already called it. It's going to come to market. We can't stop it. I would not be surprised to see the price of Luna, the new Luna, spike up really quickly. A lot of hopium involved, but there's this thing in the market called a bear trap. And a bear trap happens occasionally when there's a lot of excitement and sentiment, but it's false from where the actual market really is. And so you can see a drive up of this. A lot of people get involved, invested. They look at well, maybe this is the future, and maybe Luna will go back to $50. I'm going to get in on it now as it's going up, only to fall apart completely. That's my guess on what'll happen. We don't really know, but I will tell you, why would you invest in a completely colossally failed coin unless you have a lot that you've already lost and you want to recoup that? That's the only thing that I see. So what I'm going to finish on is this article right here. And I thought it was really interesting. It comes from CNBC, and I don't even have to show it. I don't even have to talk about it a lot because I think the commentary just speaks for itself. They said, one of the quotes from this article, we're in a bear market, and I think that's good. Crypto firms hope that market slumps shake out bad players. And that is true. One great thing about these times when we go in a bear market and things fall flat, like what happened in 2018, is a lot of promising projects that we thought were promising completely fail. And they're failing because they're either built on a complete false promise, it's a scam, or it's literally just riding the hopium wave, or two, it's bad execution. It's bad vision from the founder. Maybe it actually was a good project, but it couldn't survive because it didn't have a good enough vision. Just one quote from the article itself I wanted to share with you, this right here. So we're in a bear market, and I think that's good. It's good because it's going to clear the people that were there for the bad reasons. That's good. It's good because also these projects are gone. So the legit ones will be able to focus on developing and building and forget about the valuation of the token because everyone is down at the bottom of the hype cycle. You know, I live in Florida, and one neat thing about Florida is you can pass by all of these huge forests that we have all through the center of the state. And oftentimes, if you look carefully, you can see on pine trees big black char marks. This is from controlled burns. See, the Florida Department of Forestry has learned through many, many years that one way to prevent huge sweeping forest fires is to have controlled burns. In fact, these controlled burns are really good for the forest. It's healthy, it helps things regrow correctly, and prevents massive forest fires. And I have to think, this bear market, largely speaking, is probably a pretty big burn. It's not a controlled burn. Unfortunately, someone named Do Kwon lit a match and left it and had it run and ran away. And of course, there were other contributing factors as well. But the truth is, it's a burn nonetheless. And I think what's going to happen with crypto as a whole is it's going to clear the market. It's going to cleanse the market. It's going to let us reset back to where we need to be, where we can focus on innovation, and failed and failing projects are just gonna go away. Now, we also know when the market picks back up that those new projects and old founders from failed projects will come back in again. And I, for one, welcome them. It's great to have innovation. You never know when someone's second, third, fourth, fifth try will finally succeed. I just hope it's from the founders and creators that have always done things the right way, and certainly not ones that, laugh when other projects fail, only to have their own fail. Let's not have that happen. All right, my friends, it's Friday. Go have a great weekend. Enjoy. Let me know what your favorite shirt is as well. And if you're still here, hit like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Thanks so much.